drug undergoes inside the body. And we can collectively uh, summarize them as ADME. Okay? These are the basic pharmacokinetic processes. So today we will continue understanding the core concepts of pharmacology, but looking into the other side on what the drug does to the body. Anong ginagawa ng gamot sa ating katawan. Okay, of course, I told you, it should able to bind with a specific target inside the body to mediate effect. And this is what we learn in pharmacodynamics. So pharmacodynamics is a division of pharmacology that studies the biochemical and physiological effects of drugs and their, anong mnemonics natin, mechanism of action. Or simply putting it, pharmacodynamics refers to the effects of drugs on the body, what the drug does to the body. So what decides how a drug works? So as you can see on the diagram, the action of the drug, it's not solely a pharmacodynamic event. So the quantity and intensity of effects are influenced by the physicochemical property of the drug and the pharmacokinetic properties of the drugs. So all these three properties somehow dictate the ability of the drug molecule to the site of action. So therefore, how much and how fast the drug gets into the site corresponds to the intensity and quality of action or effect of the drug. So ngayon, ang aaralin natin is, okay, we will learn how these drug molecules actually bind to the targets or the receptors, and what are the consequences when these drugs bind to these different types of receptors. So what are the different types of drug action? First is stimulation. So stimulation may increase or enhance the function of an organ or system. So one of the most important uh, organ that is stimulated is the brain, okay, which collectively we can call CNS stimulation. So the CNS stimulation is mediated by CNS stimulants. So one of the most common CNS stimulants that we have is caffeine. So caffeine increases the activity of the CNS. That's why, okay, it makes us awake or stimulated. So molecularly, it inhibits the receptor, okay, of adenosine. So inhibiting adenosine can lead to CNS stimulation. Okay. However, adenosine is also found not only in the brain but also in the kidneys. Kaya napansin mo, pag ikaw ay uminom ng kape, anong kasunod? Number 1 or number 2? Anong kasunod ng kape? Number 2 agad? Number 2 ba? Bakit 2? Baka may gatas yun, Doc. Personally, baka mas marami pa kasi yung gatas kaysa sa kape. Kaya number 2. Number 1 lang. Because adenosine is also found in the kidneys. So inhibiting adenosine in the proximal convoluted tubule, okay, inhibiting adenosine on the PCT, okay, of the nephron leads to, okay, what? Sodium excretion. So, tandaan natin, where sodium goes, water follows. So, if you facilitate the excretion of sodium, it will attract large amount of water. That's why you will, okay, have increased frequency of urination. Okay, so that's stimulation. It stimulates because it blocks certain receptor. How about depression? Okay, depression, on the other hand, okay, decrease the function of an organ. So para contrasting, sino ba ang popular na CNS depressant? Of course, it's alcohol, okay, or ethanol. So alcohol or ethanol is a common CNS depressant. So it decreases the activity of the central nervous system, leading to drowsiness, reduced concentration, and it could affect, di ba, minsan nahihilo-hilo ka, balance, equilibrium, and even decrease memory, okay, and learning function. So take note, if the brain is not stimulated, okay, learning and cognitive function may be affected. That's why kung gusto mo talaga na ikaw ay matuto, kailangan focus ka talaga. Your brain should be stimulated when you learn. Okay? But our body, when we focus too much, pag yung katawan natin ay nagfo-focus, okay, ng sobra-sobra, yung katawan kasi natin nagpo-produce ng adenosine. So, pag focus ka, okay, magpo-produce ng adenosine. So, pag si adenosine nag-bind sa receptor niya, aantukin ka. Okay, that's normal. That's a normal physiologic occurrence. That's why you can take stimulants to prevent adenosine from, okay, being increased in its activity. So, like taking caffeine, okay, kung gusto mong mas malakas, shabu, di ba? Gising ka nun ilang araw. Okay? Yeah. Or nicotine. Nicotine is also, but I don't recommend like smoking because smoking is bad. But nicotine, the pure nicotine, is also a very good stimulant. Okay? Yeah. So for ethanol, it's a CNS depressant. So yan ang effect niya sa brain. Kaya hindi mo maalala yung mga ginawa mo pag nalasing ka, di ba? Next is irritation. This is attributed to local effects, literally causing an irritation. So, one example of an irritant could be laxatives. So, laxatives are, okay, used to treat, okay, constipation. Constipation. So, ginagamit yan, okay, for the treatment of constipation. So, they usually irritate the GI tract to facilitate defecation. So one example of an irritant is Bisacodil. Okay, the brand is Dulcolax. Yeah, so it's an irritant. Next, replacing deficiency of an essential chemical like vitamins, okay, minerals, and other supplements. So you know those. So if there is lacking of endogenous compound inside the body, we just need to replenish it using supplements. Okay. Next is killing or weakening invading microorganisms or rapidly proliferating cells like your antimicrobial agents and antibiotics. neoplastics. Ito yung mga chemotherapeutic agent. The chemotherapeutic agent. So those are the different actions of drugs inside the body. So how about in terms of the drug effects? We have primary and secondary. Pag primary, this is intended, the desired outcome. How about for secondary? This is unintended, which is usually undesired. For secondary, we often call them side effects or adverse drug reactions. Anong pagkakaiba ng side effects sa adverse drug reactions? Pag side effects, these are extensions of, okay, drugs, pharmacologic action. These are extensions of drugs pharmacologic action. Pag naman po ADR, these are noxious, okay, unintended effects occurring at therapeutic doses. So, ibig sabihin, tama naman yung pag-take mo pero hindi maganda yung effect sa'yo. Ang tawag doon ADR. Okay? Pag side effect extension, like for example, you have allergy. What do you usually take when you have allergy? Example, you take uh, diphenhydramine. May nagtatake pa ba ng diphenhydramine? Diphenhydramine. The brand is Benadryl. Okay. What is the primary effect of diphenhydramine? It's an antihistamine. Antihistamine or anti-allergy. Okay. How about the secondary? Dalawa yung secondary, pwedeng side effect. Anong side effect kapag binlock mo yung histamine? Kaso kapag nabablock yung peripheral histamine, nawawala yung allergy mo. Pag central histamine yung nabablock, it can cause sedation. Inaantok ka. Yeah. Sedation or drowsiness. Okay? How about kapag ADR? Okay? Ito yung mga hindi normal na pwedeng mangyari sa'yo. Okay? Like for example, ah ano ba yung mga hindi normal? Kunwari allergy, ganyan. Okay? Or nagkaroon ka ng skin lesions. Yan, biglang nagkasugat-sugat ka when you take. So these are ADRs. Okay? Tama yung pag-take mo pero may masama nangyari sa'yo. ADR tawag doon. Okay? Pero yung side effect, kasabay yun nung primary effect. Hindi siya nawawala. Okay? So that's it for the two types of drug effects. Let's now proceed with the major mechanism of drug action or MOA. So the first one is structural non-specific and structural specific. So the more common one is structural, okay, specific. This is more common. Okay, so drugs alter cell function by drug receptor interaction. While kapag structural non-specific, it's by physical or chemical processes. Okay? Like for example, kapag structural, Non-specific, it could be, example niyan ay neutralization. Wala naman pong involved na receptor sa neutralization. Ano lang yan, chemical process. So, kailan yan? Kapag meron kang hyperacidity, di ba? Mataas yung hydrochloric acid secretion mo. So, anong ita-take mo? Antacids. So, antacids can neutralize the hydrochloric acid. So, there's no receptor binding involved. It's structural non-specific. Okay? Ano pa? Example, adsorption. Adsorb. Eh, ano po yung pagkakaiba ng adsorption sa absorption? Pag absorption, the drug is in the central compartment or the systemic circulation, bloodstream. Pag adsorption, uh, only on the surface. Okay? Surface adsorption. So, sino po yung nagpa-facilitate ng adsorption? Na example is activated charcoal. So, activated charcoal is a universal antidote that we use because it absorbs toxins. So, yung mga toxins po, dumidikit dun sa surface ng carbon. Yun yung adsorption. So, ang carbon, activated charcoal ay insoluble. Hindi po natin siya na-absorb. Okay? So, ilalabas mo siya. It's called adsorption. So, no receptor is involved. No target is involved. So, majority of the time, drugs act specifically. They exhibit specificity, okay, to different targets. So, sino-sino ba yung mga targets na tinutukoy mo? Doc, ito yon. Okay? The targets would be two types, protein and non-protein targets. Okay? So, for protein targets, this is the majority of the targets that we have, such as receptors, the ion channels, enzymes, and the transporters. For the non-protein targets, we have binding, neutralizing, and osmosis. So I'll give you an example of a non-protein target. Have you heard of mannitol? Mannitol. Yeah. So si mannitol, it depends on the route. Kapag tinake mo siya by mouth or IV, pag by mouth is it's an osmotic laxative. Pag naman IV, it's an osmotic diuretic. So it depends on how you administer it. Pero more commonly, mannitol is used intravenously as an osmotic diuretic. So sometimes we use mannitol during emergency surgery of close angle glaucoma to reduce intraocular pressure. Okay, because it's a potent diuretic, it could also reduce aqueous humor production. Okay, so mannitol does not have a protein target. It works by osmosis. Ano nga yung osmosis? Osmosis is just the diffusion of water. Diba? So let's now focus on the protein targets. So we have 4 levels of drug action regarding protein. We have molecular, cellular, tissue, and system. So what we will study today is only molecular and cellular. So tissue and system will be discussed to the actual drugs that we are going to discuss. Okay? So molecular lang and cellular. Ano po ba yung molecular? This is the interaction with the molecular target, like the receptor. Like for example, ano bang gusto nyo? Hmm, okay, example. Epinephrine. Kunwari lang. Epinephrine binding to the alpha-1 receptor. Okay? Epinephrine binding to the alpha-1 receptor. So this is the molecular mechanism because epinephrine, okay, activated the alpha-1 receptor. Okay? Saan ba nakikita si alpha-1 receptor? So marami pong location si alpha-1. Gusto nyo ba mata na yung example ko? Or mata na agad? Okay? So saan nakikita si ah kahit hindi mo na mata, sige, para hindi kayo, para may thrill, di ba? Okay, so si alpha-1 is found in, anong madali? Hmm, okay, the blood vessels na lang. Okay, so alpha-1 is usually found in the vascular smooth muscle. Okay, so when epinephrine binds to the alpha-1 receptor, that's molecular. Okay, right after binding, okay, right after binding to the receptor, okay, to the alpha-1, epinephrine will produce what we call a G, a second messenger. So very general pa lang po ito. So this is already cellular. Yung nangyayari. Okay? So, di ba si epinephrine nag-bind sa alpha-1, molecular yan. Okay? Nung nag-bind siya sa alpha-1 receptor, okay? Nung nag-bind siya, yung cell nag-produce ng second messenger. So that's already cellular. Okay? Eh saan ba nakikita si alpha-1? Nakikita naman siya sa vascular smooth muscle. So pag nag-produce ng second messenger sa blood vessel, ang mangyayari dun sa blood vessel ay magko-contract. Okay, yung smooth muscle, contract. So tignan nyo po yung contract sa blood vessel. Contract, contract, contract. Anong napansin nyo po sa galaw ng blood vessel pag nagko-contract? Hmm? Sumisikip or lumuluwag? Contract, contract, contract. So there vasodilation or vasoconstriction? Can you help me in the chat box, please? Pag nagko-contract. Correct. Vasoconstriction. Okay? Vasoconstriction. So, pag nag-constrict yung blood vessel, yun na yung tissue. Tissue. Okay? And of course, pag nag-constrict ang blood vessel, tataas yung blood pressure. So, yun na yung system. Involved na yung heart. Okay? Do you get the the mechanism of drug action? So, guys, it's a step-by-step process that you should able to master. So, starting from the molecular and cellular. So, ang pinakamahirap na starting point when it comes to when it comes to mechanism of action is always the molecular and cellular. The tissue and the system It's easy because if you know the location of the receptor, you can predict already the effect of the drug in the tissue or okay, in the organ system. Okay? Ganyan po siya. Mas madali. Hindi tulad ng hindi tulad yung pabaligtad na ikaw ay mag-uumpisa sa tissue. Okay? So it should always start with molecular followed by cellular. Okay? So I'll give you another example pero sa eyes naman para makarelate kayo. Okay? So, epinephrine pa din tayo. So when epinephrine binds to the alpha-1 receptor, this is the same receptor that we have, guys. Okay? The same receptor that we have, but found naman siya ngayon sa dilator pupillae. Okay? The molecular mechanism is epinephrine binds to alpha-1 receptor. Cellular, it produces a second messenger that facilitates contraction of the dilator pupillae. So pag nag-contract ang dilator pupillae, ano mangyayari sa pupils? Magda-dilate or magko-constrict? Correct. Magda-dilate yung pupils. It's mydriasis. Okay? It's mydriasis. So this is molecular, diba? Followed by cellular. Okay, this is the tissue. Okay, and then the system. Of course, it would affect your eyes. Okay, so again, studying the molecular and cellular is the most important thing you need to master at this point. Because if you know the molecular and cellular, you can predict, okay, the uh, other mechanisms of drug. Okay, so I'll just reiterate the targets that we have here. Okay, it could be receptors, ion channels, enzymes, and transporters. So you can just read them, guys, on your own. I'll explain later on how these drugs affect these molecular targets. Okay, but taking into account the different molecular targets, let's focus now on what we call the most important targets we have would be the receptors because majority of the ocular drugs act on the receptors. Okay? Konti lang yung nag-act sa mga ion channels, enzymes, and transporters. Majority of the ocular drugs act on different types of receptors. So receptors is any molecule in which a drug has to bind in order to produce an effect. So it is usually a component of a cell, okay, that interacts with a drug and initiate the chain of events. So one of the theory that is usually being associated with drug receptor is the lock and key concept. Okay, ano po yung lock and key concept na tinatawag? So, yung lock, siya po yung receptor or yung target. Okay, while the key is the drug. The drug could be an agonist or antagonist. Diba po? Na-discuss ko na yung agonist tsaka antagonist last time. Pag agonist, it activates. Okay? While the antagonist blocks the receptor so that the agonist cannot bind. So try to look. Si agonist, when the agonist binds with the receptor, it activates the lock kaya na-open mo siya. However, the antagonist, when the antagonist occupies the receptor, it inhibits the agonist from binding. Okay? That's why the lock remains being locked in the presence of an antagonist. So in short, for a drug to take effect, the drug should able to bind specifically with the receptor to produce an effect. Okay? So, aalamin po natin mamaya isa-isa kung ano ba yung mga consequences, ano ba yung mga pwedeng mangyari pag yung gamot ay nag-bind sa different types of receptors. So later, you will learn that. So what are the characteristics of a drug ligand? Kay pag ligand, yan yung drug na nagbabind. One which binds. Okay? So that's called ligand. Eto na pala. Nakasulat na. Hindi kasi nagbabasa eh. Yan, nakasulat na pala dito. Sorry. It's a molecule which attaches selectively to a particular receptor or site. So, ano po ba yung characteristic ng ligand? The ligand should have affinity. Ano po yung affinity? The ability to bind. The ability to form a complex with a receptor. Okay? Tawag doon affinity. Affinity. How about the second one? Intrinsic activity or also known as efficacy. Pag sinabi natin intrinsic activity or efficacy, after the drug binds with the receptor, so that's affinity, the drug should able to initiate a response. That's called intrinsic activity or efficacy, the ability of the drug to trigger or initiate a chain of events after binding. Tawag doon, efficacy or intrinsic activity. Okay? So, let's go back to agonist and antagonist. Okay? Ito yon. Letter A is okay, agonist. Okay, antagonist. Okay? Affinity, intrinsic activity. So, may affinity ba yung agonist sa receptor? Tignan nyo dito. Agonist. Pumasok ba siya dun sa key? Yes or no? May affinity? Yes. So, may affinity siya. Can the agonist open the lock? Meron ba siyang efficacy or intrinsic activity? Yes or no? Yes. So, the agonist, we can represent the intrinsic activity or efficacy as we can just assume na 100% kasi na-open niya eh. So, that's one. Okay? How about antagonist? Tignan mo yung antagonist. Can the antagonist bind with the receptor? Pumasok pa siya sa lock? Yes. Can you confirm? Yes. But did the binding of the antagonist cause the lock to be unlocked? Yung pagpasok niya, na-unlock ba siya? No. So, meron siyang zero intrinsic activity. No efficacy. Zero efficacy. Nagets po? Anong ginawa niya lang? Ang ginawa niya lang, nag-bind siya doon para yung agonist ay hindi makapag-bind doon sa receptor. Okay? That's how uh, the ligands act. So usually, mga doc, they have affinity, but they differ in intrinsic activity. So that's the comparison between uh, agonist and antagonist. Sir, may mga nababasa ako ditong partial agonist pa at saka inverse agonist. Can you explain them? Siyempre, teacher nyo ako eh. Okay. Pero basahin mo yan, mga yan. Ayokong basahin hapa. Okay? So, explain ko na lang siya. There are three types of agonists. So, there are three types of agonists. Full agonist. Okay. Partial agonist. And inverse agonist. Okay. So, this is affinity. This is what? Intrinsic activity or efficacy. So, and this is antagonist. Okay. Efficacy. 0, 100. Okay. So, let's proceed. Review tayo. Pag antagonist, ano nga siya? Can it bind to the receptor? Yes. But the intrinsic activity is 0. So, this is antagonist. Tama. The intrinsic activity is 0. It did not activate the receptor. How about for the full agonist? Okay? Yung full agonist, pag in-administer mo, 100%. This is full agonist. 100% yung kanyang intrinsic activity. Yes, it can bind and it has a 100% intrinsic activity. How about for partial agonist? Can it bind? Yes. How about the intrinsic activity? It's less than 100%. So if you administer it, this is a partial agonist. Okay, the ability of the partial agonist, okay, to activate the receptor is always less than the full agonist. So it cannot reach 100% activation. So less than 1%. How about for the inverse agonist? Can it bind? Yes. However, okay, it does not block the receptor. Only the antagonist does the blocking. Anong ginagawa ng inverse agonist? It reverses the activity of the receptor. Okay? Causing opposite effects. That's the effect of inverse agonist. So it's less than 0. It's negative. So the one which causes opposite effect when it binds to the receptor is the inverse agonist. The antagonist cannot cause opposite effect, okay? It can only prevent the effect of agonist by preventing the agonist from binding with the receptor. Clear? Yun ang role ni antagonist. Okay, magkaiba sila ni inverse agonist. So, nakita niyo po yung mga differences nila, mga doc. Here so far, can I see heart reactions here? Okay, thank you. Good. The rest, basahin mo. Malaki ka na. Yan din yun eh. Ayoko kasing magbasa ng marami. Okay. Siya na yan. Okay, let's proceed now with the receptor concepts. So, mabilis lang to. Bakit mahalaga yung mga targets or receptors? So, receptors largely determine the quantity, okay, between the dose or the concentration and pharmacologic effect. So, in short, receptors are determinants of the quantitative relationship between concentration of a drug and the pharmacologic response. Second, receptors are responsible for selectivity of drug action. So the effects of the drugs depend on, okay, the receptor and where the receptor is located. 'Di ba nakita nyo ba kanina, pag si epinephrine binigay ko, okay, systemically, pwede niyang i-activate si alpha-1 sa blood vessel. Pero kung sa epinephrine nilagay ko lang, okay, sa eyes, it could only activate the alpha-1 receptor found in the eyes. Okay, so it's selective in nature. So it depends on the location. So receptors also mediate the action of pharmacologic agonist and antagonist. So what are the different nature of receptors? So ito na po, we will focus on what we call the regulatory proteins. So the regulatory proteins are divided into 4 types of receptors. This is also where the majority of the ocular drugs act. Kaya dito rin nag-act halos yung mga ocular drugs natin sa mga receptors under the regulatory protein. So, ano bang ginagawa ng mga regulatory proteins na to? They are the best characterized receptors that modify the actions of different okay, chemicals like the neurotransmitters, autocoids, and hormones. Okay. How about orphan receptors? So orphan receptors, so usually we use this, okay, for research purposes. Okay. So their ligands are unknown, so they are useful targets for developing, okay, and discovering new drugs. Okay. Ano pa? Other proteins that could be identified as receptors, I told you, we have enzymes. And so majority of the time, drugs inhibit the enzymes. Like for example, methotrexate inhibits the enzyme dihydrofolate reductase. Okay. Next, transport proteins. So example is digoxin. Parang binanggit ko na kahapon to, no? Si digoxin. So it blocks the transport protein called sodium potassium ATPase. For structural protein, we have colchicine. So ginagamit to for gout, gouty arthritis. So it blocks the formation of tubulin. So these are the nature of drug receptors. But again, we'll focus on the regulatory proteins. So the regulatory protein receptors, guys, can be divided into four types of receptors. So ito sila. These are the four types of receptors you need to, okay, remember, because this is where also majority of the ocular drugs would act on. Okay, so the first one would be the ligand-gated ion channels, or also known as the ionotropic receptors. So, yung R po yung receptor and yung pink yung ligand. Okay? What have you noticed? Okay? To the receptor. The receptor, okay, is part of the ion channel. Di ba ion channel yan? Okay? So, ito yung binding site nung receptor. Okay? Yung ibang part niyan, yung ibang dimer, okay, ion channel. So, this ligand, okay, this is the drug that when it binds the receptor, it triggers, okay, the flow of ions inside the cell. So, anong tawag sa kanila? Ligand-gated ion channel. So, the receptor is linked with an ion channel. Okay? Next. Okay? Dito naman, G-protein coupled receptor. So, this is the receptor. Okay? Pero hindi siya nakalinked ngayon sa ion channel. Kanina daw siya nakalink? To a G protein. Okay? That's what the G protein coupled receptor does. Okay? It's linked with a G protein. So mamaya malalaman nyo ano ba yung G protein na yan. Okay? And then we have the third one, kinase. This is an enzyme. Okay? Diba kinase is the one that donates phosphate group. It facilitates phosphorylation in the cell. So kinase, linked. So ngayon, yung receptor naman, kanino siya nakalink naman ngayon? Nakalink siya sa tinatawag nating enzyme na kinase. Okay? What have you noticed to these receptors, mga doc? Ano napansin niyo sa mga receptors na to? Okay? I-highlight ko ulit. Tignan nyo. Okay. This one. This one. They are usually found where? This is the cell membrane. Cell membrane. Cell membrane. Okay? What have you noticed? They are protruding in the cell membrane. Tama. Does the drug need to enter the cell to interact with the receptor? For these highlighted receptors? No. Tama. Because these receptors are called transmembrane receptors. So the first three types are called transmembrane receptors. Anong ibig sabihin ng transmembrane? The receptors protrude in the cell membrane. So the ligand or the drug does not need to enter the cell in order to interact with the receptors. Kasi parang kung ito yung cell membrane mo, ito yung receptor eh. Kaya niyang mag-bind sa labas kasi nakaprotrude yung, okay, receptor na tinatawag natin. That's why they are called transmembrane receptors. However, the last type of receptor, tingnan nyo. Can you notice? Where is the last type of receptor? It's found intracellularly. It's found in the nucleus. Tama? So can we consider the nuclear receptor as a transmembrane receptors? No, no. So dito na papasok yung tinatawag nating like dissolves like. For a drug to interact with a nuclear receptor, it should be lipid soluble enough, okay, in order to pass through the cell membrane, going to the cytoplasm, and eventually bind to the nuclear receptor. So, ibig sabihin, okay, for the first three types, okay, for the first three types, kailangan bang pumasok nung gamot sa cell? No, because they are transmembrane. But for the type 4 receptors, okay, the drug should able to enter the cell in order to bind to the intracellular receptors. Okay, so they have different time scales based on the activation of the receptor. So for the ligand gated, it's in milliseconds. So imaginein mo napakabilis. Bakit siya mabilis? Kasi anong involved sa type 1 receptors? Ligand-gated ion channel. So, involved siya yung mga ions. Okay? Ions move very fast inside the cell. So, their movement occurs within milliseconds. Okay? How about for type 2 receptors, yung mga G protein coupled receptors? It occurs in milliseconds. Sir, bakit, sorry, seconds. Bakit mas mabagal ng konti? Kasi dito, hindi masyadong involved yung ions. Anong kailangan i-produce ng ating cell? Kailangan niya mag-produce ng tinatawag na second messenger. Second messenger to mediate cellular effects. That's why it's a bit slower. For kinase link, okay? For kinase link, it's within hours. Okay? Why? Bakit mas mabagal siya? Kasi this is involved in gene transcription. Okay? Basta kapag gene transcription yung mechanism, okay, mabagal po na proseso yan. Okay? So it would take a minimum of hours to days. And then for nuclear, it is the slowest. Okay? It could take like days, months, or even years, depending on the drug. Okay? Basta kapag involve yung gene transcription, it's more on uh, longer time for the receptor to be activated. And the effect is also uh, longer to be initiated. Okay? So ano-ano yung mga example? We have, okay, for the type 1, for the ligand-gated, we have the nicotinic acetylcholine receptor. Okay? So the nicotinic receptor, mamaya, i-example ko yan. We have also the muscarinic acetylcholine receptor. So both nicotinic and muscarinic, the natural ligand is acetylcholine. Okay, so the natural ligand is both acetylcholine. We also have the cytokine receptors for the kinase link receptor. Okay, and lastly, for nuclear, we have the estrogen receptors. So, yung mga hormones natin. So, hormones are usually type 4 receptors. Okay? Yeah, so let's proceed one by one. So this is another representation, guys. Pero let's proceed one by one. The first is the ionotropic receptor or the channel link receptor. So anong sabi ko dito? Yung receptor natin, nakalink siya sa isang ion channel. So this is the receptor. This is where the drug binds, and this is the drug, yung color green. And this is the ion channel. Kaya ang tawag sa kanya, ligand-gated ion channel. Bakit ligand-gated? Because the one who control the ion channel, okay, is the ligand. So mag-open or mag-close yung ion channel dahil sa ligand, dahil sa gamot, kung nag-bind siya sa gamot. Okay? So, for ocular drugs, the most important receptors are the first two types. So, dapat yun yung ma-master ninyo, yung first two types. Okay, so ito, tsaka yung pangalawa na i-discuss ko. Okay? So, ano ba nangyayari kapag po yung gamot nag-bind sa ionotropic or the channel-linked receptors? It generates what we call action potential. So, dalawa yung klase ng action potential. We have excitatory and inhibitory action potential depending on the ions involved. So, for excitatory, this is also known as depolarization. Okay? The sodium, the one involved is the sodium and the calcium ion channels. For the inhibitory, okay, postsynaptic potential, okay, this is also known as hyperpolarization. Sino naman yung involved dito? Okay, it's chloride and potassium ion channel. So I'll uh, share it with you later kung paano nangyayari yan. Okay, so sino po yung mga examples? Kanina, nabanggit ko na yung isang example, si nicotinic receptor. We also have serotonin receptor. Serotonin receptors. We also have GABA receptors. And we have the NMDA receptors. Sino nga yung natural ligand ni nicotinic receptors? Si acetylcholine. For serotonin or 5-HT, it's serotonin. For GABA, it's GABA. For NMDA, it's the glutamate. So, yung nagbabind, yun yung ligand. Yung receptor, yun yung pinagbabindan. So, kanino nagbabind si acetylcholine? Anong klaseng ionotropic? It's the nicotinic. Okay? So on and so forth. So let's practice. Okay, this is the receptor. And this is the ion channel. This is the cell membrane. Okay, let's start first with the nicotinic receptor. So nicotinic. So sino nga yung natural ligand niya? It's acetylcholine. So this is the nicotinic receptor. Si nicotinic ionotropic siya, it's linked with an ion channel. Sino pong ion channel yung nakalink sa kanya? The sodium ion channel. Okay? So when nicotinic receptor, okay, binds with, when acetylcholine binds with the nicotinic receptor, there is opening of the sodium ion channel, allowing the entry of sodium inside the cell. What does sodium carry? It carries positive charge. Tama? Okay? Pag positive charge yung membrane potential inside the cell, that causes to generate action potential. Anong klaseng action potential? Excitatory, inhibitory. I-review nyo nga si sodium kanina. Kanino siya associated? Anong sabi ko? Pag sodium ion channel, excitatory, inhibitory. Correct. Excitatory. So when acetylcholine binds to the nicotinic receptor, it triggers the entry of sodium inside the cell, which causes excessively positive charge inside the cell. So this triggers an action potential called depolarization, which means excitatory postsynaptic potential. Okay? So this EPSP would occur, okay, depending on the location of the nicotinic receptor. So, si nicotinic nakikita yan sa muscle. So, nasa muscles yan. So, pag na-depolarize yung muscle, anong mangyayari? It will contract. Okay? So, kunwari, sinampal mo yung sarili mo ngayon. Na-imagine mo na, sinampal mo yung sarili mo. So, bakit gumalaw yung kamay mo? Bakit gumalaw? O bakit ko nagagalaw yung kamay ko ngayon? That's because of acetylcholine binding with the nicotinic receptor. I can contract, okay, my muscles. Now, I can contract my muscles because acetylcholine facilitates the entry of sodium in my muscles. That's why the muscles are depolarized. They are excited. That's why I move. I can move my hand. Okay? Clear? Mabilis ba yung pag-move mo? Yes. Kasi nga pag sumasayaw ka, 'di ba, mali-mali yung step mo. Bago mo pa maisip, nag-react na yung nag-react na yung muscle mo sa ganun siya kabilis. It occurs in milliseconds. Milliseconds. Okay? So guys, think of this. Think of this in the brain. Sa brain naman. Okay? May mga babaguhin lang ako. Babaguhin natin yung okay, same sa example natin. Okay? So, ang receptor naman natin ngayon ay si NMDA receptor. NMDA. Sino nga yung natural ligand ni NMDA receptor na sinabi ko kanina? Letter G. Glutamate. So, ito, wala to sa muscles. Nasaan si NMDA? Nasa neurons mo. Okay? So, bakit ka ba stimulated naturally? Bakit ka ba stimulated? Because of glutamate binding to the NMDA receptor. So, ito yung ginagawa ng glutamate sa neurons mo. Okay, so when glutamate binds to the NMDA receptor, tandaan nyo, the NMDA receptor is also bound to the sodium ion channel, allowing the entry of sodium where? Saan naman nag-entry ang sodium? Oh, nawala. Bad trip. Imagine mo na lang. Ayan. Bad trip naman. Ba't nawala? Okay. Sodium. Sa neurons mo. Ha? Ano mangyayari sa neurons? Mag-undergo ng depolarization. Tama? Okay, so pag na-depolarize, ano mangyayari? Mag-e-excite yung neurons mo. So that will, okay, initiate excitatory postsynaptic potential. Okay? So what does glutamine do on your brain? It is the major excitatory neurotransmitter of the brain. So glutamate, okay, is the major excitatory neurotransmitter, okay, of the brain. Why? Bakit nga siya nagka-cause ng excitatory action or action potential? Because when glutamate binds with, okay, the NMDA receptor, it allows the entry of sodium, which is positive, causing depolarization. Okay? Sino pa nga yung other ion na involved in excitatory aside from sodium? It's calcium. Correct. So isipin mo lang, si calcium naman yung pumasok. Okay? But so much with that. Madali na yon. Kasi alam niyo na yung sodium. So sino yung kalaban ni glutamate sa brain mo? So, pumunta naman tayo sa kalaban. Ang kalaban ni glutamate sa brain mo, kaya ka inaantok ngayong oras na to, ay sino? Si GABA. So, GABA receptor naman tayo. Okay, and then the ligand is GABA. Kanino pong ion channel naka-associate si GABA? Kay chloride. Chloride ion channel. So, isipin mo, when GABA binds with the GABA receptor, it allows the entry of what ion? What ion? Chloride. And chloride carries what charge? Negative. Negative. So pag negative, ano nga? Depolarization or hyperpolarization? Hyperpolarization. EPSP, IPSP. Inhibitory postsynaptic potential. That's why, guys, what does GABA do on your neurons or on your brain? It inhibits the activity of your, okay, neurons because of hyperpolarization. So, paano pag in-enhance ko or in-augment ko si GABA ngayon? Makakatulog ka ba? Are you awake or are you asleep? When we augment or increase GABA, awake or asleep? Asleep, correct. Hindi po, asleep po. Apo. Si glutamate yung awake po. Kasi excitatory siya. Si GABA, inhibitory. Nagets niyo po yung ionotropic, mga doc? I'm not sure if nagets niyo na. Clear na sa inyo so far? So, bakit nagiging excitatory or inhibitory itong mga neurotransmitters na to? Because they control the entry of certain ions. Kaya ligand-gated ion channel receptors sila. Okay? So, paano naman pag potassium? Hindi ko pa nasabi si potassium, di ba? Ang nasabi ko pa lang, si sodium, tsaka si calcium, and chloride. How about potassium? Eh, si potassium positive siya. Paano yun? Okay? So, kapag naman si potassium po, so when a drug, okay, like for example, a drug that can activate a receptor associated with potassium, imbes na pumasok yung potassium po, nasa loob po yung potassium lalabas. Okay? Lalabas yung positive. So, anong maiiwan Sa loob, kung lumabas yung positive, magiging positive ba o negative yung loob? Negative. Kasi pinalabas mo yung positive. Tama? So, this is also hyperpolarization, okay? Which leads to IPSP. So that's how the ligand-gated receptors work. Okay? So may isa pang klase ng ionotropic receptor, yung voltage gated. So, mas madali yung voltage gated kasi walang receptor na involved. So, ito yung ligand gated. Look, this is ligand gated, this is the receptor, and this is the ion channel. Napansin nyo parang isang structure na lang yung ion channel tsaka yung receptor. Okay, talagang it's part of their protein structure. But for the voltage activated or voltage gated, it's just purely ion channel. No ligand is involved. Okay? Ayan siya. So, wala pong ligand ang involved kapag voltage gated. It's only activated by membrane potential. So, ano ba yung example niyan ng voltage gated? Hmm, Sino ditong nagte-take ng, ayun, si amlodipine. Amlodipine. Okay, amlodipine is a calcium channel blocker. Sikaw. Talagang ano, may may pag-name drop po. Ayan, a calcium channel blocker. So, uh, the calcium ion channel blocked by amlodipine is an example of a voltage, okay, gated calcium channels. So, wala pong involved na lichen chan. Okay? Talagang purely ion channel lang siya. But it could be inhibited by amlodipine. Okay? So, that's for ionotropic. So, clear na po ba sa inyo ang ionotropic receptors? Do you have any question so far? Kaya pa ba? Can you show some heart reactions if you understand po? Kung hindi, you can ask, please. Medyo madali pa naman to eh. Tama, di ba? Ayan. So, may mga heart reactions naman. Mas mahirap po yung pangalawang receptor. Alam, may umiiyak na. Huwag po kayong umiyak. MSG, umami glutamate. Yeah, monosodium glutamate. It's part of MSG, si glutamate. Yes po. Pero yung pure glutamate, yung glutamate lang, nasa ano yan? Ano ngang brain supplement yun? Glutafos. Sa glutamate kasi sa glutafos ang content niya glutafos. This is like a brain supplement ginagamit nila. It contains glutamine or glutamate rather and then B complex. Because B complex are also brain vitamin. Eh, di ba si glutamate, it's an excitatory neurotransmitter. Kaka-explain ko lang kanina. Because it depolarizes your neurons by allowing the entry of sodium, right? Sodium. Paano pag gabi? Sino yung mas marami? Si glutamate o si GABA pag gabi na inaantok ka na? Si GABA. Tama. Okay? So, majority guys, majority of your sedatives, yung mga pampaantok natin, or yung mga sleeping pills, they actually mimic or augment GABA. Okay? So, yung mga sleeping pills natin, ang ginagawa nila, yung mga tinitake nating sleeping pills, they actually augment GABA. Ini-enhance nila para tayo ay makatulog. Kasi GABA by itself hyperpolarizes the neurons. So pag hyperpolarize, inhibited, tulog ka niyan. Okay? Sino yung isa sa mga nakakapag-hyperpolarize ng neurons na nag-enhance kay GABA? Alcohol, kapatid. High dose of alcohol can enhance GABA. That's why alcohol is a CNS depressant. Kaya wag mong masyadong damihan ng alcohol. Konti-konti lang. Okay? Yeah. So we are done with the ionotropic receptors. Okay, let's now move on to the G protein coupled receptors. So this is uh where majority of the ocular receptors are included, guys. So halos lahat ng mga common ocular receptors ay mga G protein coupled receptors. They are also known as the 7 transmembrane receptor, serpentine receptors, or the metabotropic receptors. What do you need to remember kapag G protein? Kanina, pag ionotropic, ano yung nadya-generate? Nadya-generate yung action potential. Either depo or hyper. Depende sa nagmo-move na ions. Tama? Pag naman G protein coupled receptor, wala pong action potential dito. Kasi hindi gaanong involved ang mga ions. Anong involved dito? Yung pag-produce ng tinatawag nating second messengers. Second messengers. They are the one responsible, okay, in further activating other effectors, causing an effect. Okay? So, sino-sino po ba yung mga example ng mga G protein coupled receptors? The first one is the muscarinic receptor. Ang natural ligand ni muscarinic receptor ay si acetylcholine. Okay, we also have the beta and the alpha receptor. Ang natural ligand naman ito ay si norepinephrine or epinephrine. For the dopaminergic, of course, it's dopamine. Okay, we also call it the dopamine receptor. For glucagon receptor, as the name implies, it's glucagon. For thyrotropin receptor, it's thyrotropin. So bakit sila tinawag na serpentine receptors? Because the receptor polypeptide chain snakes across the plasma membrane 7 times. So 7 times siyang nakapalupot. Okay? Kaya ang tawag sa kanya serpentine and then 7 transmembrane. So if you will like check the protein structure of the G proteins, it protrudes, okay, or snakes out in the membrane at least 7 times. So this is the effect, okay? To summarize, uh, diagram of G protein coupled receptors. So, gamitin ko muna to para mabilis na tayo. So, ano yung una niyong kailangan tandaan sa mga G protein coupled receptors? Of course, you need to know the specific G protein. And then, the effector. After that, the second messenger. Okay? So, ito yung kailangan niyang tandaan, mga doc, sa G protein coupled receptor. Tandaan niyo kung sino yung mga G protein. Tatlo lang naman sila. GS, GI, and GQ. GS, GI, GQ. Sino po yung effector ng GS and si GI? It's called adenylyl, okay, cyclase. Adenylyl cyclase. So, medyo sa oras na to, kailangan yung i-memorize yung mga important concepts na to. So you can remember them when we proceed to different types of drugs. For GQ, it's PLC, phospholipase C, phospholipase C. Okay, let's proceed first with GS. Ano ba yung GS? S stands for stimulates. It activates adenylyl cyclase. Okay, activation of adenylyl cyclase will produce what second messenger? Okay, it will produce what we call cyclic AMP. Cyclic AMP. How about GI? I stands for inhibits. Inhibits adenylyl cyclase. So kung walang adenylyl cyclase, will you produce second messenger? No. That will decrease cyclic AMP. Cyclic AMP. For GQ, it activates phospholipase C. Activates phospholipase C. Sino naman yung second messenger na involved dito? Dalawa po sila. Okay. IP3. Okay. This is inositol triphosphate and DAG. Diacyl glycerol. So these are the three G proteins that we have to remember and their effectors. Okay. And then the second messenger that they produce. Okay. Bigyan ko kayo ng 2 seconds para alalahanin sila. Kasi i-discuss na natin isa-isa. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Pwede na ba? Okay, let's proceed. Okay. So ito siya. This is the receptor. Okay, this is the active site of the receptor. Okay. And this is the G protein. Okay, yung G protein po, as a protein, meron siyang tatlong subunit or subunits. Meron siyang tatlong subunits. Okay, so sino-sino yung tatlong subunits? C, beta, gamma. Okay? Anong function ni beta tsaka ni gamma? They anchor, okay, the G protein in the membrane. Okay, the beta and the gamma subunit anchors the G protein in the membrane. And then pag alpha, okay, this subunit is usually bound with GDP, guanosine diphosphate. Guanosine diphosphate. Okay? So, alam niyo na ngayon yung iba-ibang klase ng G proteins. Alam niyo na rin yung subunit ng G proteins. Okay? Let's start. GS muna tayo. Remember GS. This is the receptor. Okay, and this is the G protein. This is the gamma, beta subunit, and alpha subunit, which is bound with GDP. Tama. Okay. Anong G protein nga tayo? GS. GS muna. Okay. So, ano bang example ng GS na G protein coupled receptor? GS. The beta receptors. Beta. So, ang receptor natin ay beta receptor. So, ang natural ligand ng beta receptor ay si norepinephrine. Okay? So, GS to ah. Sir, bakit alam mo na GS yung beta receptor? Ay, kasi alam ko siya. Joke lang. Tuturuan ko kayo mamaya kung paano ko yun nalaman. May mnemonics po ako. Okay, you need to remember the G proteins for these receptors because, again, the ocular receptors are usually G protein coupled receptors. Okay, so guys, when norepinephrine bind with any beta receptor, lahat naman po ng beta receptor ay GS, ay ano nangyayari? Okay, the G protein is phosphorylated. Sino po na phosphorylate? So again, when norepinephrine, okay, binds with the beta receptor, okay, there is what we call phosphorylation. Sino pong na-phosphorylate? The one who undergoes phosphorylation is alpha GDP. So, it's phosphorylated to become alpha. Dadagdagan mo lang ng phosphate group, GTP. From dalawang phosphate, naging ilang phosphate? 3 na siya. Triphosphate. Kay alpha GTP. Okay? Alpha GTP. So, alpha GTP is the active form of the G protein. Yan na yung active form. Okay, dahil form siya, ang iisipin mo, independent na siya. Okay, kakalas po siya sa gamma and beta subunit. Where does the alpha GTP goes? It goes in the cytoplasm. Anong gagawin niya sa cytoplasm? It will look for an effector. So, isipin mo yung effector kanina ni GS. Ano yung sinulat mong effector kanina? Sino nga hanapin na effector ni alpha GTP? AC or PLC? Can you help me in the chat box, please? No, effector muna po. Hindi pa second messenger. Yeah, correct. It will look for an effector, okay, and activate adenylyl cyclase. So alpha GTP will activate kasi GS siya, adenylyl cyclase. And adenylyl cyclase will be the one that will produce second messenger. So, anong gagawin ni adenylyl cyclase? It will convert ATP to a second messenger called cyclic GMP. So, cyclic GMP is the one that will cause, okay, effects. Okay, siya yung magkakos nung effect. So, nakita niyo po kung paano nag-work ang mga G-protein coupled receptors? Kanina mabilis lang, 'di ba? Kasi kailangan lang pumasok or lumabas ng ions. May effect na, tama? Ngayon naman, ang ultimately na kailangan mo para magka-effect ay mag-produce ka ng second messenger. Okay? You need second messenger. Clear po tayo? Nagets po ninyo, guys? So, iisipin nyo lang po lahat yan. Okay? Magbabago lang yung G protein. Okay? Pag GI, ano mangyayari? Ibablock si adenylyl cyclase. So, walang cyclic AMP. Tama? Pag GI. Right? Naiintindihan po? How about pag GQ? Pag ginawa ko naman siyang GQ, sinong hahanapin ni alpha GTP pag GQ na siya? Sinong effector? Correct. Napapalitan lang po yung mga effector. Ang effector ay si phospholipase C. At sino yung ipoproduce ni phospholipase C? It will produce IP3, correct? IP3 and DHC. So this one will produce effects. Okay? So that's how the G protein coupled receptors work. Okay, they work like that, guys. So medyo hindi pa siya nagma-make sense ngayon kasi hindi niyo pa napagtatagpi-tagpi. So bago tayo matapos, mapagtatagpi-tagpi ko rin sila. Okay? Fighting. Okay? So okay na tayo? So paano na-terminate yung effect nila? So guys, when ito yon, tingnan nyo. Okay? So ano nga yung first step, guys? The drug should able to bind with the receptor. Kapag nag-bind yung gamot sa receptor, there is phosphorylation. Sino nga yung phosphorylate? Si alpha GTP magiging alpha GTP. Tama? Alpha GTP will go where? It will go to the, okay, cytoplasm. Okay? To activate what? To activate effect force. To produce second messenger. Okay? So pag may second messenger ka na, may response na. Okay? After which, ano mangyayari? Alpha GTP will be hydrolyzed back to alpha GDP. And alpha GDP will attach itself again to the beta and the gamma subunit. So magiging ganito ulit siya. So happy family ulit sila. Okay? So paulit-ulit lang po siya. Paulit-ulit. So pag may nag-bind, hihiwalay ulit si alpha GTP. Mag-activate ng effector. Tapos, magpo-produce ng second messenger. And that will produce effect to the cells. Okay? So, isipin niyo po, ilan nga oras nangyayari ito lahat, yung dinidiscuss ko, ilang oras siya? Anong time scale kapag G-protein coupled receptors? Within seconds, magpo-produce na tayo ng, pero ang tagal kong diniscuss, no? Parang 30 minutes. Pero nangyayari lang pala siya within, yung kanina, it occurs only in milliseconds. Ito naman, it occurs in seconds. Yeah, that's the reality of the receptors. Okay? Sige. So, balikan po natin yung mga ocular receptors natin. Sino nga po yung mga ocular receptors na very important? Yung tatlo na to. Yung unang tatlo. The muscarinic, alpha, and the beta receptors. Okay? For muscarinic, we have three subtypes: muscarinic 1, muscarinic 2, and muscarinic 3. For alpha, we have two subtypes, alpha 1, alpha 2. And then for the beta receptors, we have beta 1, beta 2, and the beta 3 receptors. So you have to remember, mga doc, the G protein linked with these receptors. So paano ko ba yan na kakabisa? May mnemonics ako. Okay, ang aking mnemonics ay keys, yung sounding keys, kick. Okay, keys, kick. So kanino yung keys? Okay, alpha 1 is linked with GQ. Alpha 2 is linked with GI. And all the beta receptors are linked with GS. So this is QISSS. It sounds like keys. Keys. Okay? How about for muscarinic? Muscarinic, ano nga? GQ. Muscarinic 2, GI. Muscarinic 3, GQ. So, QIQ. It sounds like kick, kick. So, kiss, kick. Yan yung ating mnemonics. Okay na po. So, I'll give you an example. Sino nga yung natural ligand ng muscarinic? It's acetylcholine. How about the alpha and the beta receptor? It's norepinephrine. So, gamitin natin yung norepinephrine kanina sa alpha-1 receptor. So, when norepinephrine binds with the alpha-1 receptor, okay, it binds with the alpha-1 receptor. Ano mangyayari? Alpha GDP will be phosphorylated to become, can you help me in the chat box? Ituloy niyo yung process. When norepinephrine binds with the alpha-1 receptor, alpha GDP is phosphorylated to become alpha, correct, GTP, wherein alpha GTP activates what receptor? Pag GQ? What effector rather? What effector pag GQ? Is it adenylyl cyclase? No. Yeah, the effector is phospholipase C. Galing, nakakasunod na sila. Okay. Phospholipase C will produce IP3, okay, and DAG. Tama? A second messenger. So this will produce effect. Anong effect niyan? Increase calcium. Tandaan nyo, increased calcium will facilitate contraction. So isipin mo sa mata, isipin mo sa mata yan, sa dilator pupillae nangyayari. Paano nag-contract? yung pupils para magkaroon ng mydriasis because of what? Norepinephrine producing what second messenger? It produces IP3 and DAG to increase calcium and promote contraction. So in the dilator pupillae, it will lead to mydrias. Nawala na naman, sorry. It leads to mydriasis. Nagets niyo po? Did you understand po, mga doc? Bad trip naman tong nawawala. Okay? So, ganyan po yung nangyayari. Tama? Na nagigets po ba, mga doc? O, last yung kalaban naman ni, yung mahilig ako sa magkalaban yung kalaban naman ni norepinephrine. Sino naman yung kalaban ni norepinephrine na nagkakos ng meiosis? Meiosis naman tayo. So, para makarelate po kayo, dinidiscuss ko na siya in the context of the uh, the eyes. Okay? Ang kalaban naman ngayon ay si acetylcholine. Okay? Ang nagkakos ng meiosis ay si acetylcholine. So, anong receptor ang pinagbabindan nga ni acetylcholine? Muscarinic 3. Saan naman si muscarinic 3? Nasa ano yan? Sphincter pupillae. Okay? Guys, based on my mnemonics that I gave you, what is muscarinic 3? What type of G protein? Cystic. Cystic. Ayan, ang galing nila. Okay? It's GQ. Tama? Nakakasunod po. Okay. So, anong gagawin ni acetylcholine when it binds to muscarinic 3? It will activate phospholipase. Okay? It will activate phospholipase C. Parehong-pareho. Tama? Pero magkaiba lang yung location. Si norepinephrine, nasan yung alpha 1? It's in the dilator pupillae. Alpha 1. Si muscarinic 3, nasaan? It's in the sphincter pupillae. Pero pareho bang contraction? Yes or no? Will they produce contraction? Yes. Kasi both will produce IP3 and DAG, a second messenger. Pero contraction of the sphincter pupillae will cause myosis, not mydriasis. That's why all the drugs that mimic acetylcholine, okay, are considered myotics. And all drugs that mimic norepinephrine are called mydriatics. Okay, that's how the ocular drugs work molecularly, cellularly, by tissue, and by system molecular mechanism of action. Nagets po ninyo? Heart reactions po kung nagets. Ayan. Pwede po kayong magtanong, mga dok. Okay? Yeah, that's why the G protein coupled receptors are very important. So you should uh, know the specific G proteins linked with this receptor so you can predict the signal transduction. Okay? So review lang po, there are three types of G protein, GI, GS, GQ. Okay? Pag GI inhibits adenylyl cyclase. Pag GS, okay, activates or stimulates adenylyl cyclase. So adenylyl cyclase produces what second messenger? Cyclic AMP. For GQ, it activates phospholipase C to produce what second messenger? IP3 and DHE. Okay, so those are the G proteins and their specific second messengers. So, ano po ba yung mga second messengers? Second messengers are systems that allow signals from cell surface receptors to be converted and amplified into cellular response. So the second messengers, mga doc, are the one responsible in causing the effect associated with receptor finding, not the drug itself. So tulad kanina, si norepinephrine, tsaka si acetylcholine, bakit sila nag-cause ng mydriasis? Bakit sila nag-cause ng meiosis? Is it because of the drug itself? No. It's because of the second messenger they what? They produce. Okay? So, sino-sino sila? Cyclic AMP, cyclic GMP, IP3DHE. So, ang hindi ko na lang po nabanggit dito ay si cyclic GMP. So, si cyclic GMP, hindi siya ganun ka-common sa ice. Okay? Ang common sa ice natin ay si cyclic AMP, tsaka si IP3, tsaka si DHE. Si cyclic GMP, this is uh, usually confined in the vascular smooth muscle or the blood vessels. Okay? So ito po yung mga biologic action ng mga second messenger. Hindi ko naman po ini-encourage na i-memorize nyo lahat to. Hindi nyo po kailangan i-memorize yan. I'm just presenting here the effects of these second messengers when they are produced by different drugs. Okay? So for cyclic AMP, it activates protein kinase A. And these are the effects. So just read them if you have time. For IP3, nabanggit ko na kanina to, it facilitates calcium entry into the cell. And these are the effects. Ang kaninang effect natin ay contraction. Diba? Ayan o, naka-appear yung contraction. Okay, because calcium facilitates contraction. For DAG, okay, it influences the activity of the membrane-bound protein kinase C. And these are the effects. DAG is also associated with contraction because of calcium release. Okay. Last, we have cyclic GMP. I told you cyclic GMP has uh, a minor role, mostly in the vascular smooth muscle. So anong ginagawa ng cyclic GMP? It facilitates the phosphorylation of the myosin light chain, which can relax the blood vessels. So pag-relax, tignan niyo po pag-relax. Tignan niyo yung kamay ko. Pag-relax siya. Ano yan? Vasoconstriction or vasodilation? Ito yung contract. Ito yung relax. So what is it? What does cyclic GMP produce? Vasodilation or vasoconstriction? Correct. Vasodilation, which can reduce blood pressure. Okay? Sino po yung mga gamot na nagpo-produce ng cyclic GMP? Okay, majority of the time, uh, it's the nitrates. Yung mga nitrates natin. May mga nabanggit na akong nitrates yesterday. Si nitroglycerine, isosorbide dinitrate, isosorbide mononitrate, ano ba? Amyl nitrite. Okay? So, ang mga to, nagpo-produce sila ng nitric oxide. So, nitric oxide is the one who activates guanylyl cyclase. And guanylyl cyclase produces cyclic GMP. Okay? Which dilates the blood vessels. Kaya po yung mga nitrates natin, okay, these are potent vasodilators. Okay? Etong amyl nitrite, baka familiar kayo. This is usually a recreational drugs they use during like how do I phrase it? Like sa mga alam nyo na, yung masasamang bagay. Pero hindi naman masama lahat. Ah, like for example, ginagamit yan. Ano nga yung kanyang street name? Ayun, ang street name ni amyl nitrite, gamot kasi talaga siya. Kaso yung mga tao, finormulate siya as a recreational drugs that can be used during sex. Okay? Ang tawag nila poppers, kung alam niyo yun. Okay? So, inaamoy-amoy po yan gamit ang si amyl nitrite. Sa totoong buhay, gamot siya. Kaso, ginawa na siyang recreational drug. So again, be wary when you use these recreational drugs because it can drop your blood pressure pag sumobra ka. Okay? So if you have like cardiovascular diseases, you have to avoid taking these drugs. Lalo na kung nakagamot ka na, 'di ba? Kunwari, naka-antihypertensive agent ka na, tapos nag-poppers ka pa, that could further lower your blood pressure. I told you, walang namamatay sa mataas na presyon, di ba? Pero maraming namamatay sa mababang presyon. That's more fatal. Okay? Low blood pressure is more fatal than high blood pressure. So you have to be wary of taking these nitrates because they are very potent in dilating the blood vessels. Okay? Any question? Gusto niyo pa ba ng isang receptor? Malungkot na sila. Ayaw na. Sige. Madali tayong kausap. Ayaw na po. Napagod na sila. Okay, guys. So that ends our discussion for today. So pasensya na. You have to like build the concepts over. So kaya inuunti-unti natin sila. Because when we proceed to drugs, you will use these basic knowledge. These are basic knowledge in pharmacology to understand how the ocular drugs work in your eyes. Okay? So that's it for today po. Thank you po and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Sir, may question lang po.
Oh,
Nabanggit po kasi ni Doc Sherwin, wala daw po kayo tomorrow?
yes. Pero available ba si Doc Ai sa whole day? Hindi.
May meeting din po kasi kami bukas po. So, ayan po.
Sakto.
Opo.
Meeting saan?
Sa school po, career orientation.
Oh, wow. May pa-career pa kayo.
Opo.
So, blessing din pala na nagsabi ako sa
Ay,
kanya. Okay, okay. Sige. So, tomorrow, guys, uh, actually, every Thursday talaga, I told you I'm a PhD candidate here in Thailand, right? So, I'm doing research. So, every Thursday, ginajuggle ko yung research ko in the morning and afternoon, tinuturuan ko kayo. Yeah, so I'm doing like a project. So, every Thursday is our lab meeting. Kaya, sabi ko kay Doc, kung pwedeng Thursday, wag tayo mag-meet. Yeah, yun. So, blessing din pala na bukas ay kayo ay may career something. So, please attend on that dahil wala tayong meeting for tomorrow. Okay? I'll meet you again on Friday.
So, ano po, wala pong meeting tomorrow, whole day? Ask ko lang
yes.
po.
Yes po,
Holiday
wala
ba
po.
yun?
Ay, thank you.
Opo.
So, hindi lang pala ako, pati si Doc ay. Yeah. Thank you for understanding, mga Doc. Salamat po. Yay! Enjoy the rest of the day. Salamat
Thank you po.
po.
Salamat
Yeah,
ka.
yeah.
Thank you po.
Salamat po,
Din
Thank you,
po.
sir. Kapunaka.
Kapwa na krap.
Thank you, sir. Sawadi.
Thank you po, sir.